to the UK YouTube channel for another exciting episode of Seller Lads. Today we're joined by Derek, Tap Peddler, and Peter from Peter Ray's Adventures.
Hello.
We should have hopefully have a couple more join us in time, but we thought we'd get things kicked off to start off with. Looks like we've got a few people starting to join us now as well. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. So we'll start off with the usual introductions. Everyone, what your YouTube's about. While I finish off my dinner, and then we'll bring everyone in. Looks like we've got a couple of people here. Chenzo 1969, hi. Vintage Vandal VV, Leon Rose, John M. Hi all. All right, so Derek, we've got Polaran and Paul as well, Adrian, Kaz. Chat jumps a bit on StreamYard, so sorry folks if I missed you.
Oh yes, lovely. Just been paid for an item.
Oh, good man. We've got Steve, Gary, hi both. Reselling Life and Adventure, which is Mike. Hi Mike.
Yeah, a pair of boots.
Nice one. How much do you get for those?
Boots, DELERT. I think I paid £1 a car boot. 22 plus postage.
Nice one. Hi Rufy. Hi Richard. Your brother's on here. You can update us on your challenge in a bit on that one as well. All right, so I'll let you guys introduce yourselves while I get back to my pork steak. Over to you first, Derek.
You want to start, Derek?
Yeah. Okay. My name is Derek. I'm also known as Tap Peddler on YouTube. I'm a UK full-time reseller, living in Scotland, and I've been listing all day, so I'm quite knackered of listing. So, nothing much more to say really. Over to Peter.
Okay. Hi everyone. Peter from Peter Ray's Adventures. Part-time eBay reseller. Been doing it 3.5 years. Obviously, I say I got a YouTube channel, Peter Ray's Adventures. Do subscribe and that's pretty much.
Fantastic. Thank you both. We've got Aid on. George is just making a brew and then he'll be joining us.
Fine, yeah.
So today's subject is quantity versus quality. And we're talking there about listings on eBay. So basically, is it better to have less listings, but quality, high ticket items? Or is it better to have a volume of listings, keep on listing consistently a high volume every day to trigger sales? So that's the subject of choice. Obviously, I've got my views on it, but I'm still eating my dinner. So, we've lost Peter, have we?
It looks like it, yeah.
Okay, hopefully Peter will be back in a minute. He's probably just done what I do and knock the cable out. So that means, Derek, you're going to be first up.
Oh, great. So I would say you're best off having a mixture of things. But I think it's really important to have lots of smaller value items. When I mean smaller, I mean like £20, £30 items, and sell maybe 10 of those a day, something like that, rather than having, selling two, £100 items. The reason I think that's better, it's better for me anyway, is returns. So you basically almost guaranteed you're not going to get all of those 10 items back unless you're selling, really bad rubbish items. So it means that the stuff you actually sell throughout the day, most of it you're likely to actually keep that money, and you're not going to have to give it back in a return later on. So that's the main reason I would prefer lots of quantity items. I don't think it's really worth selling really cheap items unless you've got multiples, or unless you've got the items from some sort of job lot or something like that, and it's, you might as well list them if you own them. I do the same. I've got plenty of £10 or below items for sale, but I do try to avoid picking them up now. So I don't think that's a good idea, but if you've got it, you might as well list it.
Yeah, dudes. And how about yourself, Peter? How do you feel? Quantity or quality?
Well, I find you've got to try and kind of have a balance of both. Because obviously in your eBay stores, you've got to sort of think, right, because I try not to go below £10, obviously, but with the quality side of things, I find that you sort of think, right, it's just basically taking a balance, because I think at the moment I'm on like 210 items on eBay. I've got plenty more to list, but I find that it doesn't matter how many listings you have on eBay. You can have 1,000 and still come in with really bad sales. But I just find take that balance of having items like you could sell 15, £20, £18, and like we call bread and butter stuff, and then if you have like 40, 50, 60, 70 of them or more, then I was thinking like you then you can work your way up to having items that are worth £100, £150, something like. It's just finding that balance. I don't think like realistically the amount of listings actually matter. It's just what we've got listed, and it's sort of like if that person wants it at that time, pretty much.
So, two pretty similar perspectives there.
Mm-hmm.
I have a totally different perspective, but
Right.
I'll just say a few hellos in the chat first.
Yeah, it's plenty in.
Looks like we've had a few more people join us. So, hi, Nikki. Who else has joined us? Danny's joined us. Hi, Danny. Who else have we got along here?
Georgina, Jill, the Monocle, Lisa, friends of Royal Wanstead School.
Hi, all. Ken's joined us as well. Hi, Ken. Hi, Joan. Hi, Rach. So, hi, Lucy. So, yeah, a few people with us. It's good to have you all with us. For those of you just joined, hi, Danny. For those of you just joined, we're having a conversation around quantity versus quality. These two are desperately filling time for me because I was late for my own stream and haven't finished my dinner because I was packing a 7-kilogram order for somebody in the chat who shall remain nameless. So, yeah, the subject is quantity versus quality. Is it more important to have a large number of listings on eBay so that you can trigger a good quantity of sales as a result and keep on listing at high volumes? Or is it better to have a lesser number of listings but a lot of high ticket, high quality items? Derek's already touched on the fact that he'd rather have 20 to £30 items with a few high quality ones as well, because of the if you get one return on £100 or £200 item, that's a lot of money to take in one hit. Whereas if you get a couple of £20 or £30 returns, it's easier. Peter's talked from his perspective. He's got a solid knowledge of what sells for him, what does well, so he likes to pick up that stuff and sell it. But he's also expanding his knowledge and his market into other areas. And then there's me, the volume seller.
Correct, indeed.
Who just hit 1,000 listings, and yeah. And I have the opposite sort of business model, really, in that I'll list whatever I can get my hands on. It's going to make me some money. I sell a lot of media. Media is my main stuff, particularly games. I source them very cheap. We're talking a few pence, and I'll list them cheap, £3 or £4, sometimes more if I get the odd good pickup. And I'll consistently generate over £100 worth of sales every day just through listing and selling those media. And same as you, Derek, if I get a return it's a £3 or £4 item. It's not a massive hit. But I'm having to churn out a lot of listings to generate the traffic to the store as well.
And also pack them as well, going to take a long time. Although I suppose it's jiffy bags, isn't
Jiffy
it?
bag, straight in the jiffy bag, which is my other point as well for me. The reason I do that is literally I grab it from the shelf, put it in the jiffy bag, put the label on, job done. So for me working full time, I don't necessarily have the time to spend, 10, 20 minutes, whatever, or 2 hours in each case packing. Packing an order to ship out because I've got other priorities that I need to focus on, like my day job, etc. So if I can ship out 10, 20, 30 games, which takes me literally a minute to do, so half an hour unpacking, drive down to the post office, drop them off, drive back, I'm spending an hour a day packing tops. That really helps me. But as I say, the downside is you've got a list at a high rate, a high volume. So a lot of what I sell, exactly as you were saying, Derek, a lot of what I sell is multiples. So I pick up the same sort of stuff. I know what sells. I've got that knowledge. I've got multi-quantity listings for it. When they run out, I've got something in the sell similar I can go to. So again, listing is just literally pressing sell similar, getting it back on. Hi, Tom. Tom's just joined us.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Do you want to introduce yourself to the chat for those who haven't come across you before, Tom? If there is anyone who hasn't come across you.
Apologies for any quality issues. I'm just currently out dogging at the moment, so I've got to join you from the mobile app. So if anyone knocks on the window, I'm going to have to go, unfortunately. You know what it's like. I'm only joking. No, I've had to nip out the house because the baby's asleep. So, my name's Tom. Got a YouTube channel, Tom the English Picker. So I'm experimenting with the mobile app with this StreamYard business. So I've no idea if it's working or whatnot. So, hopefully you can hear and see me all right.
Is there an actual app for that?
Yeah, I didn't even realise.
No, there isn't. No, you go through like your internet browser.
Right, that's what I tried to use yesterday in Peters, but it was just too slow for me. It's interesting your one works
for a bit.
Yeah.
Were they using Android or Apple?
Apple. I did get a warning at the start saying that it's not supported or something yet. So
it's experimental. So we should see
because
anyway.
you're not using a proper service. Forget about Apple. Forget about it. Get a Samsung like me. It's the future.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I've been Team Apple for too long. So.
Oh my God. So
since 2002, I think.
Just before we get into further into Tom's views on the subject, which I'll brief Tom on as well, because I don't know if you had a chance to watch this while you were getting set up or not. Just a few more hellos. Nikki's joined us. I think I can't remember if I said hello to Nikki. KFC's joined us. I haven't seen KFC reselling for a while, actually. Gorgeous Georgina's with us. Hi, Georgina, looking gorgeous as always. Jesse's with us. Hi, Jesse. Lucy, I think I said hello to before, so I think that's it.
Yeah,
so
Chris has popped in as well.
Sorry?
Chris has popped in. Cooking Hayden's.
Oh, hi, Chris. Sorry, I missed you. Hey, Chris. So, what was I saying? So we're talking about quality versus quantity, Tom. Whether it's more important to get a quantity of listings on there, up there, and shoot as high as you can, or whether it's better to go for the big quality, high ticket items. And so far, we've had a mix of views. I'm, as everyone now knows, a quantity lister and seller. I've got a quantity buyer called Aid Critchlow as well. He buys only top quality merch. Derek was saying he's sort of a bit of a mix of the two, but he does like having a high quantity of sales, because if you get a return on an expensive item and you're only selling expensive items, it can really hurt you. And Peter was saying that he likes the quality, but it's important for him to sell stuff that he knows sells and sells well. Over to you, Tom.
Yeah, I'm really torn on this because it's a quandary that I've been struggling with myself for the longest time. I subscribe to the scavenger life theory of list and forget it kind of thing, which was like a numbers game of just, you've got to pump out the listings and it's a numbers game. But then actually recently I've won the storage space both like of listed goods and also like storage space in Amazon. It just makes it so much harder that, and also with doing a lot of the gaming stuff, the competition is so cutthroat. You've just got to be constantly repricing all the time, and that's can be quite exhausting. So I'm moving now more towards a more quality stuff, but to sort of sprinkle in some more like currently popular items, if that makes sense, in amongst it to try and get my shop active and that sort of thing. So I guess that's the point where I'm at. And I do have a lot of low value stuff, particularly in my eBay shop, but it's always multiple quantity listings. So it's where, I've got, 300 of a particular part or something, and it's one listing done. There's just nothing for me personally more demoralizing than listing 400 items with, a value of £5 or less. I just feel like I've created my own sweatshop there, so I can't be doing that.
Raz, I'm quite happy to run a sweatshop, as we know.
Well, I've got a load of PS2 stuff today. If you want some, mate, to get to that 2000 number. That's the next challenge, isn't it?
I'm always that is the next challenge. I'm always happy to have PS2 bits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if anyone's in the market for FIFAs, I've got an absolute shed load across all systems.
I just sent a FIFA out, and I misread the what it was, and I thought it was FIFA on PSP, so I sent out FIFA on PSP to him. PS2, one letter difference can kill you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to think about if it's PSP, I might change where I put the rather than put it at the end of the title, just to stop me doing that again.
Yeah, it is easy one to do that. I can see how that could happen.
Yeah, he was all right about it. He's fine anyway. He said, "Oh, I've got a PSP. I'm not bothered. It's fine. I'll play it on that." I was like, "Thanks for that. Fair enough." But yeah, I'll have to learn from that. We had a question from some noob, which I'll bring up on the screen, saying, "Wouldn't a quantity of the same type of item that sell well consistently be classed as a quality sale?" Good question.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to Derek for his thoughts on that first.
Yeah, I would agree with that, really, because I've just listed. Well, I bought a bag of IKEA cupboard parts that you like hinges and things like that, soft close hinges.
Nice.
On their own, they're not really worth listing, but I've got 7 of them. So in reality, that's probably maybe a £70, £60 sale if I sell them all.
Yeah,
I've just got to list them once and just let them all sell. So yeah, I think that's a good way of doing it if you can get that sort of item at the boot sale or wherever you source from. Because yeah, I wouldn't really want one of those. It wouldn't really be worth listing it. But I'm quite happy to list one of those, but have 7 to sell. Certainly.
fair enough. Peter, any thoughts to add? Or
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as Derek. The fact that it's always good to have a quantity of the same items, whatever it may be, like, I don't know, car parts, gaming stuff, I don't know, anything really we can source, because it's pretty much like, as what some noob said, it'll be classed as a good sale, because all you have to do is do one set of photographs for the whole thing, just one listing, even if it's multiple quantities, then it's so simple. It takes what, 10 minutes on the listing and about 10 minutes photograph, and you're done. And say you got 30, 40, 50 items of the same thing, then you can see it kind of trickle through. As long as it's over a certain amount of money, like I would say 20 quid plus, then it's always going to be classed as a quantity sale or quality sale. So
I see. I thought you were going to back me on that. If it's multi-quantity, it's still quantity. Would be my view. It depends, you know. If you've got 10 listings of, say, because you bought a job lot of DVD VCR combos with the ability to record onto video, that's both really, isn't it? You've got a high quality listing there, but you've got a quantity of them. But yeah, George has joined us. Hi, George.
Hi, George.
Hello, I made it. Sorry for the delay.
How are you? You okay?
Yeah, all good. Just major busy. I've been listing all day as well. Seems to be a listing day, but yeah, I've got about 30 odd items on today, which is like mental for me.
Fair enough. Just want to introduce yourself in case there's like one person who doesn't know who you are.
Yeah, I'm George Ross, retro reselling. I specialise in I like to try higher end items, vintage retro, electricals, domestic. Yeah, me.
Sweet.
Fantastic. And where do I already know the answer to this question, but where do you stand on quantity versus quality, George?
Oh, it's quality. Quality always sells. If I could, I'd have £100 items every single listing and only have like 100 items. But I think I'm more with Derek. You need a bit of a mixture. But even then, you need sort of a cut-off. I do at least. So try at least £20 minimum. But then I try and average at £50 per sale. So yeah, I haven't got the time to be sitting there listing so much. So if I was doing cheaper items, I'd be a poor man, basically. But yeah, if I get I've done half an hour, I get 5 on, but that could be worth like £500, for example. Yeah, that's how I stand anyway.
Fair enough. So a good mix of views there across the board. We've got a question from Rufy saying surely both quality and quantity should work, especially if you know about the item or items. Who wants to go into that one first? We'll go for Tom.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm a believer in like getting that mix is good, because not to sort of naysay on anybody's business model, but sometimes you can niche yourself into a corner. Like to use here as an example, not that I think he's doing badly, but if he focuses a lot on remote control car stuff. So if for some reason the bottom falls out of the RC market, you know, he does have other things in the works to try and back up that business model. That, you know, you've got to be careful not to niche yourself too much. And I think that's the, you know, you can go, you know, I could go. I think there was a post recently I saw someone selling a load of 4K films. And it's like, yeah, you could go all in on one particular thing, but then you could end up screwing yourself over. I feel doing that. I think as well, the other thing about quantity is the ease of access. Like, it's easy to go and buy a huge job lot of stuff. I think the barrier to entry is a bit, you know, if you're just starting, you know, when you're just starting, maybe it's easy to get that quantity on there and build your store up. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it.
Sorry. In my unit, I've got obviously my box of trainers. I've got a stack of like VCRs and DVD recorders, and they don't seem to sell at the same time. I either sell loads of trainers or loads of electronics. So if I just niched in one, then I'd be quiet season sort of thing. That's why I try and say, sort of expand your knowledge, be a chameleon, reselling chameleon.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the comedian.
I went to a what's it called, pre-loved vintage clothing sale on, when was that, last Saturday. So all my knowledge about vintage electronics or like items, hard items, went out the window, and it's purely clothes. So
Dirty clothes,
find your knowledge.
dirty things. We don't do clothes on this channel, George.
But they're cool clothes, and there is a video coming out, so keep an eye on.
Fair enough. I think there's something to be said as well, that when you're first starting out, you made the point there, George, about building your store up. Did yourself, George or Tom? Sorry, I can't remember now. Made the point about building your store up. So maybe when you're starting out, getting that quality, getting the sell through, building up the feedback is more important as you grow and develop as a reseller and start to understand the market you sell into. You do tend to find what sells well for you, and that almost does become your niche to some extent. Diversification as well. I'm actually going to list some clothes tomorrow. I've committed myself to listing 10 items clothing tomorrow. I've got the ironing board out. I've got the iron out because I've got a steamer I bought for 99p. There's no instructions with it, so I've no idea what tube goes where.
You burnt yourself, and we know why.
I'm gonna end up annoying somebody in the post office queue again with like masses of clothes. But yeah, I am going to list 10 items of clothing tomorrow. I've set myself that challenge. Can't say I'm going to sell them. I sold a pair of jeans to a subscriber the other day. That's about as far as it goes.
Not fair enough.
It's all right. Just do another challenge, and there'll be someone who'll buy it. I won't name names.
We have got a challenge starting in the group next week. The tag team 500 listing challenge. If you pick a partner, we will. It's the first team. I think it's the first team to get to 500 listings wins whatever the prize is. I don't know. Aidan's probably going to send them a DVD or something. He's got enough DVDs coming to him to donate a prize to the course. So me and Derek are on one tag team. Opportunities are there for other people. There's an announcement if people want to sign up for that. Just having a look to see if there's any more questions. Something here, some noob. I'm getting into reselling, trying to get onto new enterprise allowance, and I'm curious if anyone else went down that route when starting. Not something I come across myself, but I think that's support you can get from the job centre to when you're on long-term benefits to get back into work, as I understand it.
I'm not sure on that one myself.
No. I know when I started, I went on some courses with the Prince's Trust that were available, which talked about how to do your tax return, those sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
And that was funded through a government thing as well. Like there was some extra things to do with that, and they were really good. Definitely. I mean, they were boring as hell, but they were useful in the business sense.
Or do what I do and just take the wedding spending money and start with that. That would be.
Just
make
buy a or leg.
I know before the wedding. I started a business after the wedding.
Okay. Fair enough.
I learned that though.
Just have a fake wedding then. That's the advice. Have a fake wedding. Get lots of gifts. Have the reception at McDonald's. Invest that money. I mean, it is a good question actually, as to how what the sort of starting capital is. I think when I started off with 100 quid, and then I invested another 150 quid the following month, and then that's it. I've never had to invest any more money into the business, but I used to get a lot of free stuff when I started off as well. A free cycle, Freegal, whatever. So, or just from Facebook posts, people wanted to give stuff away. So that was a lot of my stock in the initial sort of days, and the money I invested was mostly on packaging supplies and such like for it. I don't know about you guys, how, well, if it's something you want to share, of course, whether or not you started off with like thousands of pounds or you just sort of built gradually from a low starting point.
Yeah, well, from my point of view, I was working full time, when I restarted reselling properly. So I think I went to an auction. I spent like £250 at an auction, and I probably put in about £1,000 from my wages, effectively, for the business. But from that point, the business was sort of giving back. So then I spent some more money at the some more money at the auction. And
or if we're putting our phones on for cha-chings.
we don't get too excited. It's only £9.95 delivered. So
Fair enough.
not good quality either.
Yeah.
Well, when I started, it was much sort of similar. That I went in, I was part-time working, but it was like nearly 10 years ago. So I just remember that any kind of extra income that I'd got from my job after I'd spent money on cider, it went straight into the business. So it was like a gradual thing over the few months, and then after, I think about 6 months, I went full-time, something like that.
Yeah, I think like for me, when I started almost like 4 years ago, I was working part-time, and so as I say, whether I'm like I took a chunk out of my wages, and then I reinvested it. Went around the car boots, the charity shops, with only small amounts of money, and then was able to pick up bits and pieces here and there. And then sometimes, because obviously I found it easier back in the day to get bigger bundles of stuff. And then obviously from there, over the years, I've learned about different items. As you can see on my channel, on my haul videos, I'm picking up so much more stuff than I used to, and not even the cheap stuff. I don't mind paying up a little bit these days, so I can get an item if it's going to sell for 50, 60, 70 quid or more. So all I did was started off with a very small amount and then just built it up over the years, pretty much.
And George, wedding money, was there anything else?
Yeah, if we're putting a figure on it, it was about 500-ish, and that's because I was going to like, auctions, so obviously you spend a bit more. Plus, when I was doing like furniture and things like that, so I had to pay for a bit more. But yeah, obviously I was paying that back. I had to. Well, there's no more marriage. Because I was focusing on the higher stuff, it was. Yeah, I was getting more in, so it was easier to then go to the boot sale and spend less on quality stuff, sort of thing. And then also, because I was just starting, I had family members sort of donating stuff, which was kind of them, that sort of supporting me. And yeah, start from there, really.
Yeah, you say donating and kind. Some of the stuff I've got given, unbelievable.
Oh dear, yeah.
I was quite lucky. I had some decent stuff. Obviously, there's some like charity shop stuff, but I think I got quite lucky with that.
Fair enough. And there's a few people just talking about their starting sort of capitals. So Donna, the pin box, do give her a subscribe if you've not done so yet, folks. Started off with 240, so roughly the same sort of figure as me. Daniel saying anyone can start off. Yeah, there you go. I got your thing.
Hey.
That's a volume seller, you see. Anyone can start off even with £10 by going to local car boot. I tell you what, that's $14.49. That Derek have beaten you. Adrian started off with his own personal stuff. Car boot Chris cooking the Haydens, again another great person to subscribe to, said started by spending 100 quid on movie figures in Cash Generator. I remember Cash Generators. And then Ken Chapman saying he started with every penny I could earn or borrow. And obviously we know how big Ken has built his business now. So yeah, I think, I don't know if that probably hasn't really answered the original question, but hopefully it's given an example that you can start with, you know, a couple £100 if you can get it together, or your own stuff, or you could just beg for money, whatever works best for you. But you don't have to have thousands and thousands of pounds to start in this business.
I think you, George, did a video on how to buy stuff and sell stuff on a low income, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, I done. What was it?
Something?
Yeah,
Job
Seekers,
seekers,
I think, I was a bit behind because it was a while ago when I was on it. So I don't think job seekers exist anymore. Am I right? Is it universal credit?
Universal credit.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, but
Oh, really?
yeah, I done that amount you would get, but I think it's quite dodgy ground if you go making profit on like government money about claiming what you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was that. What was that question earlier about the enterprise thing?
Yeah.
That must be the way to go forwards instead of buying stuff to sell on benefits, sort of thing. Yeah.
Enterprise allowance. So I think it's a grant that you get to start a new business, or either a grant or like a small business loan. Oh, here you go.
You put it on there at the bottom.
You should look into new enterprise allowance to give people on universal credit an extra 266 quid a month. So that's the ideal budget. That is.
No, decent.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about it, you can buy all the packaging supplies you need for that 1 month, buy all the stock you need the second month. By the third month, you're just reinvesting then, aren't you?
That sounds really good. Yeah. Do you have to pay that back though, or I don't know how it works.
I used to work for DWP, but it's been a while since I've been involved with him, to be honest. Evil tax man now, as we know. I can't see any more questions in the chat as it goes. So I thought I would say, what have our best sales been this week, folks?
Ooh.
I'm gonna have to have a look.
I'm gonna have a look too.
Don't know. I'll have to get the app up.
Actually, to be fair, my best sale was a job lot of DVDs, games, and some B&M bargain and home bargain toys that I sold to Aid Critchlow for 170 quid.
Nice. Let's have a look.
Gosh, 170 quid. That's insane.
I sold, talking on pre-loved vintage, 2 sheepskin coats I bought at the last one. Someone bought 2 overnight, so 50 quid each.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, little boy style.
Yeah, and they're off to America. There we go. So, yeah, 2 sales to the same person, £100. Look. This was not the highest value, but quite funny. And they picked it up in person. The Wallace costume.
Oh yes, I remember you getting that. I think that was on one of your videos, wasn't it?
Yeah, I put it on. It's freaky as hell. But yeah, that sold 40 quid, and they picked it up today actually. So that was nice. Saved on postage.
Nice.
My best sale has been a pair of jeans, I kid you not, that I have had for about a year, that again went as part of a bundle of DVDs and a tie to somebody who wasn't Aid, but to another person who wants to remain nameless.
Fair enough.
But I was so glad to see the back of those, and for a profit as well. Hate clothes.
Yeah, me too.
Derek, what's your best be, mate?
Looking at it, my best is actually 2 items that have sold for $49.95 plus postage, but they've both got a story behind them. The first one that sold was a face toning machine, like little pads you put on your face, and it sends shocks through your face. I sold that.
Fun testing that one.
Yeah. I sold that last month, and it came back to me without the battery back cover, so that was missing when it was returned. The buyer said that the item was too old a model, and he didn't want an old model, he wanted a new model. So he sent it back as not as described. And anyway, I got it back. I got my return postage back from eBay because it should have been a change of mind, really, because I put the model number and all of that in the listing. But he also stole the battery cover from the item. So I had to relist it. I actually listed it for the same price again, the $49.95, without the battery cover declared, and it sold again. So fingers crossed that's not going to come back again. And the other item was a TV box, one of these HD Freeview recorders.
Yeah.
But the person who's bought it, I looked at his feedback left for others, and it's just the sea of red. He leaves negatives for everybody, and he seems to have and a lot of returns. So I figure that's probably going to come back, and I'm probably going to get a different item back. I'm not sure. I don't know yet.
Sure, we'll go against him soon, though, if he keeps doing it and he gets reported.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of feedback over a long time, so either people aren't reporting him or eBay just aren't really doing anything about it. It looks like he sells items as well, sells the similar sort of things. Because I had a similar problem with exactly the same model box. That's why I looked at the feedback left for others, because I thought it was the same person buying it again under a different username. But that one, I also got scammed on that one as well, because he sent it back for return, and he never actually sent it. So I never got it back, but eBay forced me to refund him because he took it to the parcel shop and used my label. So so both of those got a bit of a story behind them, but fingers crossed these particular sales will be okay, but I foresee problems on the horizon. But yeah, they're my best sales this week at least.
Fingers crossed for you, mate. Peter, how about you?
A few lower items on sale. Obviously, I'm probably looking at it tonight. I've started the chat. I sold some Gila men's hiking boots for 22 plus postage. If you can see, I paid £1 at a car boot, so that's not too bad. But it's been a steady week. Not very many like high value items, but it's been pretty steady. And just looking at it, just and some lower ones that have gone out. I've had some good sales, obviously with that. I'll share this one that just sold. I brought for £3 that Wind in the Willows, a collection that I sold. I believe it was 60 or something like that. I took an offer that Wind in the Willows complete collection. I got for £3, 60 odd. It was sealed. I think it was 60. It might have been a bit more. Plus postage. So it's always the one to look out for. That was a couple of weeks ago. But I just thought I'd share that as well.
Then I cost you £1.
Just going to a charity shop local to me, and I saw it there looking all bright, looking all colourful. I was like, if that's what I think it is, and it was, straight away I brought it, done, listed it when I got home, and sold within about 4 hours. So all done.
Pretty well there, mate, because the Amazon price, new price is about the same on that, so you've done really well.
Yeah.
And Tom, what's been your best sale this week?
Well, this week's been well, I've got two examples. One of them was technically from last week, but this week my best sale has been I sold a DVD bay for $49.99, and it was called something like The Girl of Tomorrow World or something. It was some weird, bizarre Australian TV program, and it was an Australian release only. A bit like how the later series were only released. So it was some obscure like TV series. It was used and it sold for $49.99 plus postage, which was nice.
Oh,
And then the other thing, I sold it on Amazon, a new and sealed. It was a piece of scenery for oh god, what they called Tyranids or something like that. And it was like basically a tree, and it was brand new and sealed. I bought it in with a huge job lot of Games Workshop stuff that I bought, and I listed it on Amazon probably 6 months ago, and that sold for $44.99. And the person who bought it worked at Games Workshop, so it went back to Games Workshop to the HQ down, which is down the road from me. But I was bricking it because the person it went to was creative licensing manager. And I thought, oh my god, I'm going to get a copyright strike on Amazon here. But no, I've heard nothing so far, so we shall see. So because I was thinking, oh gosh, so they just, because often companies do buy their own products on legitimate. Yeah, but I think it's a retired set, so I think that's why they bought it.
Oh.
Maybe they want to remake it and they've lost the mold. Who knows?
Yeah, either that or they needed to fulfill an order was the other option. I thought maybe.
I've sold big box games to Infogrames before, their releases and stuff like that. It's really weird, the buyers that you come across, you look at the addresses, whatever, and you're like, okay. And then because you can look them up on LinkedIn if you're that sad like I am, and find out who they are.
On Google Maps.
I do exactly the same.
I do a bit of Google Earth.
Ooh, yeah.
Nikki had a question.
All right.
Can you each tell us one item you'd recommend looking out for, please?
Okay.
I reckon we'll get 5 different answers here as well.
Yeah, I think I've got one somewhere. Let me have a look.
I'm going to go with sheepskin jackets by the look of it.
Oh, let me.
Yep, mine would be folio books. They're like hardback books, and you can recognise them by they've got their own sort of hard card slip case, and they say folio on the side. They get overlooked in book sections in charity shops quite often, and some of them can be worth really decent money. And it looks like they're missing a slip cover or anything. They've often got colourful covers, but they're definitely worth looking out for.
I'm going to go for something completely different. I saw my first ever one. Toothbrushes. This one sold 60. Oh, wait, where are we? Nice. Here we go. All will be, 60 quid. If people are selling them, then it seems to be mainly like unwanted presents, and toothbrushes aren't cheap, as I found out earlier this year when we bought some. Like they can link to your phone and they're all clever now. And they're cheap as well because people just want to get rid of them. Excuse me. There you go. Toothbrushes, even used, because people can change the heads. If it's a good unit, they still fetch good money. Even that one, I could have got 30 quid just for the handset. So there you go. There's a new one for you.
Okay. For me, it's these Adidas 11 Pro football boots from the World Cup 2014. These ones right there. I think I got them in a charity shop for like 2 or 3 quid, and they're worth around like 40, 45 quid. They're 2014 World Cup version. Adidas 11 Pro. So always have a look out, like your car boots and stuff, foreign football boots, because they're always worth listing, and people always use them. And obviously, so that one's a pretty good one to look out for.
Tom, any polos? I've caught them just on the inhale.
What's Oh, I thought. Sorry, I was just said about.
Did someone knock on the window, Tom? Put you off.
So you're breaking up slightly. Sorry, did someone? Yeah, you just all froze momentarily. Then.
All right.
Yeah.
We were just
If you
saying
just see a hand grab me through the window and pull me out, you know what's going on.
There's a weird car
Especially if
keeps
it's a
flashing me
furry.
from my. There's a car keeps flashing me from my front door window. He's got like white headphones on. A bit uneasy.
Yeah.
he's trying to take you outside.
Coming for you, Mr. Ross. I'm coming for you.
I can say one thing seriously. A sheepskin jacket isn't something I look. Although I do have one that I need to list, but Terra Hawks, the complete collection on DVD, especially special edition, big money in that. I picked one up for a £5, sealed, that sold for 75 quid on eBay. So even second hand, it was going for about 45, 50 quid. So definitely worth looking out for Terra Hawks. There's two different versions. There's a 9-disc version that has less money in it. The 10-disc version is the one that's got big money. But if you see either one, pick them up. And there's a lot of DVD box sets like that, like Peter showed before, that go for good money. So don't ignore media, especially box sets, basically.
Let's have a look. Have you seen the question from Joan about the vinyls? Right, you need the end of the chat.
Stu taking the mick here out of me. He says, always look out for menopause pills. I love you. No, Stu, I sold a job lot of menopause pills. I've more than doubled my initial investment on them now. I've still got some left. So I'm actually finally making the profit, the big money on the menopause pills. Another fantastic multi-quantity listing where the market got flooded the day after I bought them all.
Oh.
It could be because there's a current shortage of hormones for HRT, hormone replacement therapy. So maybe you might get an influx of orders. I don't know.
That's it, ladies.
I don't know how that works, so I could be completely wrong.
If you're looking for some hormones, ladies, I still have got about 5 packs left at a bargain price.
They can give you some.
You said,
Well,
Joe.
I've heard that just your presence in a room, Andrew, makes the hormones go up. That's what I heard.
It is true that I do drive women crazy, but not necessarily in a good way. I think there's a few here in this chat that have threatened me with death before, just this week. I had Joan's question and then I just missed it. Sorry, guys. I'll just see if I can find it again. Can anyone remember what it was?
Yeah, about vinyl, yeah. And how do you pack it?
Yeah, how do you pack vinyl, basically?
Yeah.
I do sell some vinyl. Don't do very well off it. I sell one a month or something.
Hard market into.
But what I do is basically get a piece of cardboard and put it in the cardboard all around, tape it around the cardboard, and send it second class.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Yeah.
But obviously, if I had a very rare one, a rare record, I would pack it a lot differently. Mine are all £5 delivered items, so
yeah, it's quite difficult to actually work out what vinyl sells well, because you see a load around the car boot, but you're always looking through and always like,
yeah. I got mine as job lots from the auction.
Oh, right.
It's basically just rubbish stuff, really.
Fair enough.
There's money in some of them, I think, but
there's money. Yeah,
it takes a long time to go through.
Yeah,
but yeah, you can buy proper boxes as well for them if you really want to.
Yeah, you can do.
If you're going to do them as your main niche. You know.
I was going to say, you can buy specialist like boxes, but obviously that's paying up for stuff. But I think vinyl is one of the things I don't even bother looking at, because at the boot sales there's always someone bent over looking in the boxes. So
yeah,
I don't bother. Yeah,
you see them a lot. You see a lot of boot sales. They've got the record bag. They're very laser focused on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've actually had some good deals, not following them, but sort of behind them. I mean, there was one guy who was fishing through the vinyl. He was looking at CDs, and he picked up this what's it called? ELA, Electric Light Orchestra, CD, and it was in like a paper case type thing rather than a plastic one. And the woman wanted £2 for it, and he kicked off saying, "I'm not paying £2. The maximum I'll spend is 50p." Put it down. I said, "Oh, I'll give you £2 for it," because I scanned it. I sold it for 35, and it was just from his snobbiness that that he couldn't pay 50p for it, and it got a small little rip. So they can be really picky people.
Yeah.
So,
I've got about 200, maybe 250 vinyl records on my list, in my list of things that I can't be arsed listing. But I think maybe next week, Derek, for our challenge, I'll fetch out the vinyl, put a piece of cardboard either side, pop in the post. How hard can it be?
Yeah, it would be worth it if they're worth doing. You've got to take a photo of the front, the back. You've got to take out the sleeve.
Yeah,
sounds a lot of hassle to me.
Test it as well.
Whether you test it or not, I don't know.
I know. So that I think that you can't test it all, but
I think it's a visual test, isn't it? If it's all scratched up, then
the visual test that I use for all my tested games.
Yeah, it's exactly the same with games, isn't it? There's no point in.
Yeah, like telekinesis. Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Fair dues. So yeah, hopefully that's kind of answered your question. But you can buy vinyl mailers on eBay. I might even have a box that I bought when I was just trying to get rid of some cash before the end of the tax year. But I've just a couple of pieces of cardboard I normally use. Bit of bubble wrap, job done. Like, do not bend on it, and then if they bend it, it's their fault.
True, yeah.
Any more questions in the chat?
I haven't seen any.
Nicky's saying, has anyone been picking up the wooden Budkin dolls from Poundland? I haven't seen any listed yet. Ever since my Poundland mug experience, I'm refusing to go in there again. By the way, if anyone wants some quality Poundland mugs, do visit the Money Mental Emporium. They're going for a bargain price of £6.79 now, or they're £1 in Poundland. But I offer free shipping, which Poundland don't. Just saying.
I've had some good stuff from Poundland in the past, to be fair. Because they went through a phase of buying bankruptcy stock. I think Home Bargains do the same. I remember it was a few years ago. They had loads of PSP films in, and I did really well selling them as bundles. But yeah, these days it's a bit difficult because once it's in one store, everyone else cottons onto it, and then the market's flooded by the time you've got home.
It's the old thing with retail arbitrage. You either wait out the market, like I've done with my menopause pills. Probably half the customers have died now anyway. Actually, you can't die from menopause, can you? That's going to get me unsubscribed. I'm going to lose subscribers again after saying that. Never mind. We'll gloss over that. But yeah, RA, you've either got to be first to the market or you've got to wait out the market, because there'll just be hundreds of people selling it for about. And I've noticed, I don't know if you guys noticed, but you see a lot of people listing it, and it's like they've listed it for about £1 more than it's costing the shop. And you're thinking, after fees, you're losing money, but it just seems to always happen.
RA's one of them things I've completely.
People are just desperate.
I used to do RA a little bit, but yeah, I've just completely stopped at the minute.
I do it in the winter.
Yeah.
I don't do it. There's no need at the minute. I can pop down to a boot, get stuff. If I get that desperate, I'll do it. But there's so much quality stock at the car boots that you can pick up at the moment. There's no need to do it. But come winter, when they're off, or I can't be bothered getting up and driving in the dark, I'll buy it by the shed load and sell it. I've just sold out. I think I've just sold out the stuff I got last winter now, apart from the menopause pill.
The only time I'll do RA is if somewhere's closing down, like when Office Outlet closed down. I got quite a lot of stuff there. But I think the problem with RA that I found is two things: is you're on a one-way street to go if you're not careful, and then the other thing is that you can quite easily lose your arse on it. That you can go all in on something and spend $5,000 on RA, and then, like you said, the market gets flooded, and I've still got some things, like I've still got some like Star Trek box sets that Nick recommended 3 years ago, and I've still got them for bloody sale. So yeah.
Did he recommend them on his YouTube channel though to 20,000 other people as well? Because that's gonna kill it.
Did, yeah. And then I went all in on some catnip toy from I think it was in Bargains or something called. It's like a little cat toy that got catnip in, and some game that you played with your cat. And then a couple of months down the line, I realised it had actually been recalled because there was parts that your cat could choke on and stuff. I was like, great, I've got 400 of these in my garage,
400 cat killers.
Yeah, so
did you
really
take
need
the
any.
listing down, or did you just carry on selling them regardless?
No, I took the listing down. I mean, they cost me 18p each, so I was not exactly heartbroken, but yeah, there you go. So they all went in landfill. So there's probably a load of cats like attracted this catnip smell in this landfill somewhere. There you go.
There's probably
Sorry, I go off on random tangents. I apologise.
There's probably like 100 dead cats now, all because of that, choking on catnip.
Yeah. I don't know what's worse, that or someone selling out of date menopause pills. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, the expiry. I've got some here. The expiry date is May 2020. It's still well within date, ladies. Don't listen to Tom with his false propaganda. It's like
you've got any the cat things going. I'll have a couple. I got neighbours' cats crapping in my garden most days. Just might put one of the toys out to play with.
That's actually not a bad idea. Just rename them cat killers. Put them on eBay.
Oh yeah, that'll go down great. Yeah. No, I might not use killers. Neutralizers, maybe.
Yeah.
No. You just want to get paracetamol and grind it up in mortar and pestle and mix it in with a bit of cat food. There you go, George. Little tip for you. Make Andrew lose some more subscribers.
Yeah, like no cats have been harmed during the making of this program, folks.
But there will be afterwards.
Anyway.
No, they've all gone in the bin, unfortunately, George. They've all vanished.
All right, I think we've done our hour. We'll do the usual sign off. I'll go around each person. We'll talk about what videos we've got coming up on the channel, and then we'll say goodbye to the 60 odd people watching. So we'll start in the order on my screen, which is Mr. Tap Peddler first.
Yeah. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tap Peddler, on YouTube. I've got a video I've just put up, which is buying cheap Asda food, which is a bit of a different video for me, but I thought I'd give it a go. So let me know what you think about that. And also, I've got a video coming out shortly about installing shelving in my storage, which I did probably about 2 months ago, but I never got around to editing the video. So I'm going to get that up. So that should be going up live in the next few days. Apart from that, there isn't anything else planned. So yeah, but thanks for having me on. It's been good.
It's been a pleasure, Derek, as always. Peter?
Let's have a look, see what videos I've got. I've still got I think I've still got a couple of videos from my trip to Bushy Park to come. Also, I'm hoping soon to do some more out and about, looking in charity shops and stuff. Obviously with camera and going around and checking bits and pieces. Live streams, gaming streams, but bits and pieces here and there. But keep subscribed to Peter Ray's Adventures and hit the notification bell. and then you get notified whenever I go live or do videos. And cheers, Andrew, for having me on, and it's been a great chat.
No worries. George.
Yep, thanks, Andrew. Yep, make sure you subscribe to me. I've just looked and I've got ads in my site now. I'm 13 away from ads. So
Lovely.
subscribe to me and I'll be on top of ads, which is a dream for me.
I'm going to lose more.
That's a lovely mental image there.
Yeah.
We never have sexual content or imagery on this channel, you know.
Definitely.
Always completely innocent.
As for videos, I did mention I went to another pre-loved kilo sale, and I need to film the other half, but that should be out hopefully tomorrow or the next day. And then if it's not raining, boot sale video, back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cheers, George. And Tom, blowing up any DVDs of late?
Well, yeah, I bought over 1,000 DVDs today, so I'm going to be sorting those for a long time. Well, DVDs, PC games, PSP, Xbox, you name it. Gosh, I've got so many. It's just absurd. Blu-rays. So I'm mostly going to be sorting through those, which is going to be a thankless task. Videos, I've got some more Ashes box set ones. I gave it a break for a while because I think they stopped playing, and I know nothing about cricket. But I've got some more of those to edit. I need to find a test location for an explosive finish, shall we say. And then I do have a video that I recorded in the winter of me converting my loft for storage space to store all my packaging materials and stuff like that. So it's going to be a long video. So probably split it into a few series. It's a bit different, but people may enjoy it. And then I don't know. I've encountered some dickheads today, so I might even do a video about that. So
And it's just
I'm not on about you guys, by the way. I'm just to be clear.
There's
No,
four of them
just
looking
to
at
be
him now.
clear.
And Buddy. Hi, Buddy.
Yeah, he's joined me. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Tom.
But thanks
so,
for having
yeah,
me on, Andrew, anyway.
no worries. Always glad to have you, Tom. So, yeah, you've been watching Andrew and the Seller Lads. I am Money Mental UK. My videos, I'll probably do an eBay sales update video next week. Another episode of Come Thrift with me will be going out soon. Might even do some filming for that tomorrow. Yeah, I'll probably do some terrible cooking at some point as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.